Last episode we set everything up, and in this one here I'm gonna clone my own voice locally, completely free, and we see if the voice actually sounds like mine and if it comes close to ElevenLabs, which is really good voice cloning. ElevenLabs is at a point where you can't really distinguish between a real voice and the clone if you do it properly. So we'll see if Voicebox can do the same. If you haven't watched it, check out the previous video. I'm gonna link it up here. I go through what Voicebox is, what it can do, how to install it, how to set everything up, which models to choose depending on which machine you're working with, whether it's a Mac, Windows or Linux. Well, in this one, we're gonna go to the actual voice cloning. This is the part that is what ElevenLabs is doing with their service, which is a paid subscription. This one here runs completely free on your local machine. We're gonna try it out. And the next part, already teasing this one, is the one where we go with the captures. So stay tuned. This one here, we're gonna go right in with the voice cloning. We're in the generate part, and here we can either import voices if you have them on your machine or create, and you can either clone from audio or use a built-in voice. So there's different ones. We're gonna try out, but first let's my own voice. I got everything set up here with my SMB2 from Shure. I'm gonna record it through this. You're hearing me as well through this microphone. You can't see it because of the green screen. And I got my headphones on so I can actually hear what you're hearing without any feedback. So we're both hearing the same. I prepared a little reference text. First of all, we're gonna do this here. We're gonna put it into reference text and I'm gonna read it out loud. What they're saying is you need 30 seconds here. This is the maximum duration. Then it stops automatically, or you hit the pause button and then they generate the voice for you. All right, so click to start recording, maximum duration 30 seconds. I prepared this little test here, which is the reference text. I'm gonna read it out loud so you're actually following what I'm doing, and you can see that this is all live and not just prepared with several reruns and anything. This is let's record it one time. Let's see what comes out of this. So let's go. Hey, I'm Lucas. On this channel, I test AI tools the honest way. I actually run them myself and tell you what works and what doesn't. No sponsored reviews, no hype. Today I'm cloning my own voice, completely free, running on my own machine, and we'll see how close it really gets. All right, we can now listen to it. Hey, I'm Lucas. On this channel, I test AI tools the honest way. I actually run them myself and tell you what works and what doesn't. No sponsored reviews, no hype. Today I'm cloning my own voice, completely free, running on my own machine, and we'll see how close it really gets. All right, in that case, I already pasted the reference text. Let's just for the sake of it, delete this one and hit the transcribe if it actually gets close to what I prepared. Let's see if that actually works and if the same comes out. In the meantime, we can say Lucas English with reference text. Hey, I'm Lucas. Okay, yeah, fair enough. On this channel, I test AI tools the honest way. I actually run them myself and tell you what works and what doesn't. No sponsored reviews, no hype today. Okay, this is my pronunciation. I'm cloning my own voice, completely free, running on my own machine, and we'll see how close it really gets. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Lol, I never said that. What the... And see how close it really gets. Why the... Is this here in the pasted text somewhere? No, if I go down, it's not there. It just hallucinated. Thanks for watching. Like it, comment, and subscribe. All right, thanks so much. But I did not say this. Personality. who this voice is and how they talk, drives the compose button and the in-character rewrite toggle on the generate page, leave blank to hide both. Yes, we're gonna hide both. Language is English and the default engine, no preference here. Let's go with the Qwen 3 TTS as the default, and then we're gonna create the profile. It's saving this. Important while this is being saved. The cleaner the audio that you put in, the cleaner the output. So if you have a good microphone like the Shure or any other, that's a big plus, because if you have a bad recording, it will be bad as well. Whisper can't really understand you, then the cloning is also a trash. So same with LLMs, trash in, trash out. Same for voice cloning, trash in, trash voice out. Probably doesn't sound like you at all. For the sake of it, we're gonna create a German one as well. I'm gonna copy this one here, and this is why I deactivated, by the way, the automatic dubbing, because if you do not have English as the default in your browser, on my YouTube channel, you hear myself in a robotic voice in your language. And for a video like this is complete nonsense, because you actually need to hear what I'm really saying and what the translation or what the cloned voice sounds like. So let's start this one here. This is Lucas with reference in German. I'm gonna read this out loud. Hi, ich bin Lukas. Auf diesem Kanal teste ich KI-Tools ehrlich. Ich probiere sie selbst und sage dir, was funktioniert und was nicht. Kein Hype, keine bezahlten Reviews. Heute klone ich meine eigene Stimme komplett kostenlos und lokal auf meinem Mac. Alright, let's listen to this. Hi, ich bin Lukas. Auf diesem Kanal teste ich KI-Tools ehrlich. Ich probiere sie selbst und sage dir, was funktioniert und was nicht. Kein Hype, keine bezahlten Reviews. Heute klone ich meine eigene Stimme komplett kostenlos und lokal auf meinem Mac. It's actually a bit hot. I could have recorded this a little bit less volume, but I guess it's fine. Let's transcribe this, see if this actually works. Hi, I'm Lucas on this channel. No, I test K-tools. Okay, so this doesn't work. Probably you need to set up the language package. I hadn't done this. So I pasted this in, so it's here. The recording is in here. We're gonna create the profile. It was way faster than the last one. We got with reference in German, we got English and freestyle reference. I recorded that yesterday. That was with just 30 seconds of talking into the mic without having prepared anything. Okay, so this is a freestyle recording. What people have been saying on the internet and in forums, that the results are worse if you're doing a freestyle recording, and it's way better if you have a prepared text. I think the minimum is 5 seconds and the maximum is 30 seconds. I'm gonna stop the recording here. I'm gonna name it Lucas Freestyle YouTube with English and English. And now what I'm seeing is I actually set the language here to English for the German one. So first mistake here live in the video. We need to transcribe this because we hadn't prepared anything. That is, okay, that works. So as you can see in here, and we can go in here and actually switch this back to German. And as they're saying here, a single 30-second sample is the sweet spot. Quality may decrease with multiple samples. In a future update, samples might be interchangeable and tagged for varying styles of the same voice, but not possible yet. Okay, so this is now set to German and correct. You can see it here. It has the English, German tag and German tag. All right, this was the first test with freestyle reference yesterday. And well, I think it's time to now actually create some audio files. The text is, the language is set to English, and we're gonna start with the Qwen TTS 1.7b. Let's generate this. I prepared this sentence and we're gonna run it through the different models to actually hear this. I built this entire project over a single weekend and honestly, I still cannot believe it actually works. We're gonna hit the generate speech button and see what happens. Let's go through the different renders. So first of all, we got the Lucas English with a reference text generated with Qwen. Let's give it a listen. I built this entire project over a single weekend and honestly, I still cannot believe it actually works. All right, this was rather good, I think. This one here was generated with the Chatterbox multilingual. I built this entire project over a single weekend, and honestly, I still cannot believe it actually works. Not sure what you think, but my opinion is clear. The Qwen is way closer to my actual voice than the Chatterbox one. The Chatterbox sounds British, not at all like me. I mean, the tone of voice is in there, but the pronunciation is completely off. This doesn't sound like me. So the Qwen model wins over the Chatterbox multilingual in English. What I also have is my ElevenLabs voice clone. And I'm gonna let you listen to it now. Give it a listen. This is the ElevenLabs voice sample, same sentence. I built this entire project over a single weekend, and honestly, I still cannot believe it actually works. All right, I'm gonna give you the Qwen which won in the Voicebox model. I built this entire project over a single weekend, and honestly, I still cannot believe it actually works. What I want to hear from you now is, do you think the ElevenLabs sample is better, or the clone, or the Voicebox Qwen sample? Which is closer to my actual voice? Let me know in the comments which one won. What I did then is use the Lucas with reference in German with the Qwen model. This is what it sounds like. Ich habe meine eigene Stimme geklont. Komplett kostenlos und lokal auf meinem Mac. This is pretty close actually to my German. This is even better than the English one, I would say. Ich habe meine eigene Stimme geklont, komplett kostenlos und lokal auf meinem Mac. This sounds horrible. I would never use this. So the Qwen wins again within Voicebox. What I also did is create a French version with the Qwen because Qwen won every time. So I just generated the Qwen one with some French, actually with my German reference. Let's hear it. But first, let me say it. J'ai cloné ma propre voix gratuitement, directement sur mon ordinateur. As you can hear, I'm not a native speaker in French. I only had it in school. But let's listen to it, what Qwen did for me here. J'ai cloné ma propre voix gratuitement, directement sur mon ordinateur. Sounds way more fluent. Not sure if this is actually the right pronunciation in French. Still sounds better than my actually spoken French. So, well. What I then did is, let's go back to the with reference text and go to this sentence here and actually choose the Chatterbox. I think it's the turbo. Yeah, with the laugh tag. Okay, it understands the laugh tags if you set it to turbo. Let's generate this one. What did not work is just use the Chatterbox multilingual. I tried this just for the sake of it. Let's listen to it. Wait, you are telling me this is completely free? Laugh, that cannot be right. So that did not work at all. And now let's listen to the Chatterbox Turbo, which should understand that there should be a laugh. Wait, you are telling me this is completely free? That cannot be right. So this actually works, but it sounds still horrible to me. So Chatterbox definitely loses against Qwen 1.7 by far. This is my opinion. If you think otherwise, please let me know in the comments. But this is my verdict here. Voicebox with Qwen is super powerful and can actually clone your voice very, very well. And I think combined with an avatar like HeyGen in the newest generation, and this will be definitely one of the videos after this mini series here around Voicebox, where I actually clone myself with a HeyGen avatar. I already did those in a course actually in German. I'm gonna do this and combine it with the Voicebox voice, and let's see if there's actually a difference between me and my clone together with my clone Voicebox voice with Qwen 1.7, which definitely won. What we can do is, let's take the winner, the English one, for example. Let's take the Qwen 1.7b. Honestly, no effects. Let's put this through a robotic. Let's actually listen to this so you can do some fun stuff with that after the robotic. Let's try radio maybe as well. I built this entire project over a single weekend, and honestly, I still cannot believe it actually works. Well, this is fun, but yeah, I guess it's fun to play around with this and maybe use this for the stories. What we're gonna take a look at now as soon as this one here is generated. Just give it 1 second. So apparently it takes way longer if you put the effects on there, especially the radio effect. For one sentence it takes a lot of time, so that is definitely a downside, because you're actually using your own power if you run it on your local machine against using a subscription service where everything is basically in the cloud. But again, I said this in the first video, this is all on your machine. The model runs on your machine. That means no data actually goes to OpenAI, Anthropic, Google. This is all locally on your machine, so you actually own the data. I mean, with those sentences, I don't care, but maybe with your voice, you actually do care. Okay, this takes way too long. We're gonna skip to the stories apart, and we can actually generate a new story. This is the test story. Description, we don't need that one. Let's hit generate, load, failed. All right, so apparently this is also live. This crashed, so I'm gonna shut down Voicebox at all and come back as soon as it's back up. All right, restarting. Let's see if we actually can get this back. Way longer now. I mean, I got a lot of models loaded. The more models you have loaded, the longer it takes. So we're gonna skip this for now and jump to the stories part. Let me know if you really want to hear the radio or the echo chamber or the deep voice, then I can definitely generate those for you and play them in one of the next parts of the series. But now let's hit the new story. This is a test story. Let's hit create. No items in the story. You can generate things here. You can also hit the add button. You can also see here the previous recordings. I built this entire project over a single weekend, and honestly, I still cannot believe it actually. Let's take the French one. Cannot believe it. J'ai cloné ma propre voix gratuitement directement sur mon ordinateur. So you can play around with this, play from here. You can actually regenerate, which is kind of interesting. Let's, for example, go with let's add one of the other ones. So you can generate a couple of takes, put them in here like a podcast or something. If we go here. This entire project over a single weekend, and honestly, I feel like this is not so well, but see which one this was. Built this entire project over a single weekend. This is the terrible Chatterbox. I still cannot believe it actually works. Built this entire project over a single weekend, and honestly, I still cannot believe it actually works. I built this entire. To be honest, I think this feels like a fun feature, but I would always prefer like in real audio editor. I mean, what's good is that you can actually go in here and regenerate, but I feel like the add thing here is super weird because you only see the voice and super small what they're saying, and then you can drag them here. You can generate in here. I mean, I would rather use it to actually maybe create a story in here, write it in here and drag and drop. But yeah, I mean, what's fine is you can drag out the beginning and end and so on. But yeah, it's a fun feature, but I feel like this one here is not so much of a strength. of this tool. Let me know if you see it otherwise, but the stories is not really what's convincing me. J'ai cloné ma propre. All right. That's it for a part 2. This was the voice cloning. Again, let me know in the comments if you feel like the ElevenLabs was better or the Qwen in Voicebox. I feel like Chatterbox, at least for my voice and my tone of voice, completely sucked. So I wouldn't recommend this one. I mean, it was fun with the text and so on, but yeah, I would always go with the Qwen model. That all being said, the next part will be about the captures and how Voicebox is worse or better than Whisperflow. So this one is coming out next Sunday. I will probably release all of the episodes in this mini-series here on Sundays. If you're watching this and haven't watched the first one, make sure to check it out because I give some more insights on the models. And that all being said, thank you so much for watching and see you again in the next video.